Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of GaysideStories with Trillificent. All LGBT all the time, most of the time, whatever. This is going to be a very special episode. I'm excited. If you could not tell from the title of the episode, and to help me facilitate this standing session that is about to commence, I have a very special guest, and I'm going to let him introduce himself.
Hello, world. Well, I just brought out Europe. My dress, Paris. My shoes, Rome. My furor, House of Darion. And my fragrance, Tussie.
See, what we not gonna do? I don't actually have time for this. You know what, everyone? I'm so sorry. That's the end of the episode. Thank you so much. I will see you guys next week.
Do me like that.
Please, at least tell the people who the hell you are.
Okay. Hey, everybody. I go by Beyonce, but for this episode, you can call me Max. I go by Notorious_MAX on the Twitters and the Instagrams. I'm just a regular, smegular stan out here just trying to spread the light of Queen B.
Mm-hmm. For this episode, she's going to be President B, because this is episode 45. So.
Oh, yes.
President B. So, we have been having a low-key standing session before we started recording. And with that being said, we're going to get right into it. We're not going to do the usual segments that I start the show off with, because we have a lot of ground to cover, because Beyonce has been out here with her foot on necks for 20 years.
Yes.
Maybe
still suffocating these hoes.
So we need to just get right into it. So this is going to be the Beyonce episode. I should say it's going to be a Beyonce episode, because I'm sure there will be more in the future. We know that she's in the lab working on stuff. She has the Coachella performance coming up, and I don't see her doing a whole performance and not coming out with another project. Hopefully, you never know with her, because Beyonce. So it's going to be one of those episodes, and I want to just take a quick moment before we get into it. I want to dedicate this episode to Kevin Lorenzo, aka Where My Ring At, and Where My Ring At 2 on Twitter. I don't know if you guys saw it, but he recently passed away. And he was like an ultimate Beyonce stan.
Yes.
So when I saw that on Twitter, that really hurt my heart, because he and I have had exchanges about the goodness and the light that is Beyonce. So seeing that he passed away just really, it always does something to me when I see people from the timeline have passed away. And if it's someone that I've interacted with, even more so. So I want to dedicate this whole standing session for King B to him. Rest in heaven, rest in power. Now let's get to the good stuff.
Also, can I briefly, politely chime in real quick?
Sure.
So before we get started, I just want to say one thing. Fuck the Grammys. You know what you did.
On more than one occasion.
Okay.
Trifling bitches.
Ugh, get on my damn nerves. But anyway. So let's start from maybe the beginning-ish. So first off, who is Beyonce to you? Like, what does she mean to you? Oh, that's a good question. I wasn't expecting that question.
Well, I know that's a lie, but okay.
Real stans, they know where that come from. They know where that's from.
I know where it's from too, but still.
Beyonce, when I think of the goodness of Beyonce and all that she has done for me, Beyonce is a noun. Beyonce is a verb. Beyonce is an adjective. She's the past, present, and future participle. I mean, Beyonce is the goal, the aspiration. She's the bar. It's days when I feel like I cannot be my best self, and I'm like, actually, I'm more than sure Beyonce is doing something that's 10 times bigger than what I'm going through. So let me just buck up and handle my business. Like Beyonce, she's just the ultimate. She's the supreme. We love her.
We do. We love her.
Yes.
Beyonce is Houston. Beyonce is the embodiment of hard work, of grace, of beauty. She is the entertainer. Not the only, because for some of y'all girls, get your panties in a wad. But she is the entertainer, especially currently. She is someone that I have grown up with and learned from without even realizing it a lot of the time. She's an adhesive. Like, I have so many friends that I can bond with over her. I mean, this whole episode is about her, and you and I bonding over her on the timeline.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And I'm talking about bonding over her from dissecting her latest album or her performances to throwing away all of my coins to see her perform, because I have said this before and I am not ashamed to say it. I went to Formation 3 times, all right?
Come on, 3 times. Nigga, you got money.
I had money. I had money before that.
Listen, I have a Formation horror story, but I won't interrupt you.
No, I'm done. What's the Formation horror song?
Okay, so literally every time that I've gone to see Beyonce, it has been the devil trying to block me from my blessings. So she came here to North Carolina, and I went with my coworker and her wife. Long story short, they was on some dyke shit, and they started like fighting.
Oh, God.
Oh, sorry, listeners, if that's offensive. But y'all get the gist. Y'all know dykes be dyking. Shit.
This sound like a read letter. I'm into it.
But like they started fighting because it was an outdoor stadium, and it started raining. And it was like huge thunderstorms, so they stopped the show.
Oh, and I remember this. I remember.
Yes, it was like a big deal, and because she started performing "Rocket," and like you can see the lightning in the background. It was like some dramatic ass "I control the 4 elements" type bullshit, and I was here for it. Even though it was really unsafe, thinking about it now. But
right.
In between the break, when they stopped the show for the thunderstorm, they were in the car fighting. And then we all rode together. And so my coworker, she was like, I'm going to, just get an Uber and go home. Her wife, the car broke down, so we had to wait on the tow person to come and get us. Long story short, I didn't leave the venue until like 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning.
Jesus.
Yes, it was a mess. It was worth it because I got my entire life and then some.
Listen, because the Formation show was excellent.
It really was.
It was
like
it was excellent.
It was.
That was why I ended up seeing it 3 times.
Yes,
in 2 different cities. Shout out to me.
Nigga, you got money for real.
No.
Yes.
No.
Let the people know where they can find you.
You can find me at the Snap office, because obviously if I've gone to the show 3 times, I ain't got nan money now. All right? Be not deceived.
That's funny.
So anyway, when did you start standing for Beyonce? Because I think everyone has a different point when they started standing for her. So I'm curious about that.
So my standing came in waves. Specifically, it came in 2 different waves. So the first wave, it was the first time I saw Destiny's Child live in Atlanta.
Ooh,
and that was what, 2006?
2005 or 6, one of them.
Yeah. And it was the entrance that she did to Baby Boy. Mm-hmm. When she was like in the white, and it was like the umbrella, and it was like that Alvin Ailey type feel, and she was like walking up the stairs but then switching her hips, and I'm like, hold up, what is she doing to me? Because I don't recall these feelings.
Right.
But that was the initial wave, and I'm like, okay, like I knew it from Destiny's Child, but I'm like, she got something going on here, and I'm here for it. But the moment that it was all hands on deck was on June 27th, 2006, when Mama opened up the BET Awards with Deja Vu. Listen.
Yeah, that's a pretty standard one.
Listen, I hate to be, that nigga, but that's the moment I was like, she has instant access to all of my coins whenever she wants it. Like, just, put her on the damn payroll because, like, she just fucked everything up. Like, it was choreography, it was vocal, it was delivery. Like, we hadn't seen that from anybody before. At least not from a black female artist. Like, we have our Janets and whatnot, but what Beyonce did was a different type of performance. Like, and she did it all in like 6-inch heels. Like, I think that's what a lot of people, they get a little bit, convoluted with today's artists. Like, Beyonce's performing in heels. Like, can you even walk in heels? I know my knees are bad, so I know I can't. And I got gout in my ankle, so I can't even try it. But that's the moment for me when I was like, she's the queen. Everybody else can just bow down.
So for me, I take it way before that. Like, I've stand for Beyonce since Destiny's Child, but I want to say I really started standing the first time was the Silk the Shocker video. He had a video for a song called Just Be Straight With Me.
Oh, nigga, you going back.
Way back. Now, you guys have to understand, being from Houston, I had a little bit earlier access to Destiny's Child than most other people. Like, I wasn't seeing them in talent shows around the city or anything like that. But when they were doing things with local rappers and stuff, we would see that stuff. We would see the videos and stuff on TV. So when I saw that video and they were on them little podiums and shit and singing, and I was like, who are these girls? And I said, wait a minute. So, when I did my research, I said, oh, they're from Houston. And so I immediately latched onto them because it's just hometown pride thing. Like, seeing black girls that were around my age or a couple years older doing that. And there was something about them that I could already see, like, I see something there, and I really hope that they take off. And then next thing you know, No came out. Their first album came out, and I wore that album the hell out. All right, because it was just crazy to me to hear 16-year-old girls, 15-year-old girls singing the way that they were singing. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Because before that, what was I? I was like, I stand for all of the legendary girl groups, your Envos and your SWVs and all that, but they were grown women. Mm-hmm. Even TLC, I used to stand for them. Not that they have vocals, but even TLC were in their 20s when they came out, like their early 20s. Mm-hmm. Maybe one of them was 19. So I was like, here are some girls from around. Like, when they say Third Ward, when they say we moved to Lake Olympia, like, I know where these places are. I've been past them. I know where these places are. Like, I know where these girls have been. So I've been standing from the beginning. Like, I even remember I used to go to the same church that they went to. I remember seeing them in church, like, right when the Writings on the Wall came out, and trying to be low key, but then, like, the pastor wanted to give them a shout out because they had an album coming out, or they had an album that had just come out. Mm-hmm. And it was funny because I was thinking about some of the songs that are on the Writings on the Wall, and I was like, I was like, awkward.
Very, very awkward.
And I remember seeing Mama Tina in there. I remember seeing Solange. I remember seeing Jules. When Jules was bad as hell in church. All right, he was bad as hell. He was doing the most. His dad had to snatch his ass up. But anyway, all that standing to the point where when their first album came out, like, we used to, whenever we had performances at school, we had a whole dance to No No No. Talent shows, girls was getting up there singing Get on the Bus.
Come on, Get on the Bus.
Like, it was a whole thing. So I've been there from the beginning. You know what I mean? And just seeing them as a group, even amongst all of the shit that went on, just seeing them continue to rise and rise and rise. And then when Beyonce broke out and did her own thing, I was like, oh, I've been there. I've been in the seat, in the front passenger seat. Well, no, in the front passenger seat. Like, where we going next?
Yeah.
Because I'm here. If we need to pull over for gas, I got a little change. I got a little ching, ching, ching. Let's keep going. So
you put 10 on 20.
Definitely been standing for a long time. And, I feel good about that decision. Like, she has not made me regret standing. And the thing I love about Beyonce is that Beyonce gets better because she hasn't always been where she is now. We all know that. Them wigs used to be a hot ass mess. Those outfits used to be a hot ass. Like, we know they've come from humble beginnings, okay?
Yes.
So to see where she is now, the poise and the grace, it's a good thing to stand for Beyonce, and I will hear nothing against that. Like, it just is. All right. So, what's one of your favorite features of hers? When I say features, I mean someone else's song that she was on.
When I think about features, two specific ones. Hello, Mama, she knows she's a hot commodity and she rations. But she's very smart in what she does. I'm not gonna talk about the little Eminem collab that she just released because I don't fuck with Eminem like that. But the ones that come to mind for me is "Nothing Out There for Me."
Yeah,
by Missy Elliott. That song.
That is my fucking song. Oh,
although Missy was being a hating ass bitch up in that song, but that's one of my favorite songs. When I tell you. Don't it just make you go up? Like,
you hear my ass going up? Shit.
That song is praise and worship. That song is a psalm. Okay?
Really fucking is. Like, I remember the first time I heard that song, there was like one thing I like about when Beyonce when she used to collab with Missy, she does her good singing.
Yes, she does. It's like, I feel like with her and Missy, she gives that same chemistry and energy that her and Jay does. Yeah. Like, I feel like Missy is Beyonce's studsman.
But I feel like it's a different level because Missy can also sing.
Right,
you know what I mean? So they have that in common, whereas Jay may know some stuff, but you assume that a lot of the vocals that are coming to their collabs, Beyonce's doing that on her own, or she has someone else. Whereas with Missy, because we know Missy can sing, that's just a different kind of collaboration. Like, I was on board with Crazy Feelings. I was like, okay, I'm into it. Like, that used to be one of my favorite songs. But when I heard Nothing Out There for Me, I play that song to this day. I wear that song out. Like, there are some times where I just put that song on repeat and I'll listen to that song for 4 hours straight. Like, that is just my fucking song.
I just love how she comes in at the beginning like a Clark sister. She comes in like Twinkie Clark, like, there ain't nothing out there. Sorry for the Latavia vocals, but I didn't warm up properly. But that's neither here nor there. This is about Beyonce, not about me.
Right.
But I think another song that I really, really love, feature-wise from her, is Turnt. It's by The Dream. Yeah. I really wish that he would have just given it to her.
Yeah. I have the version with it where it's just her, like it cuts off. It cuts off when it gets to his part because I'll be like, I don't want to hear this.
You can just like 86 his part and keep 2 Chainz and like you have a.
Well, no, it don't even get to the 2 Chainz. Like, it literally after that first part and she does the first verse and the first chorus, the song cuts off, and I'm like, I'm here for this because I listened to the whole thing and I was like, well, that's not actually what I need.
Yeah,
I only need Beyonce. Like, just the way she rides the beat and everything. Like, and it's interesting because, and this, I could be wrong, and this could be shade. I apologize for neither. But I feel like when men collaborate with her and like actually sing on the song, they try to be her. Like, I felt like he was trying to be, instead of being himself, he was trying to be like her, or how he thought she would be on the song. I don't know, because I don't know the order that they recorded it and everything. I think about Neo. Like, Neo did Irreplaceable for her, and then on his album, he had a song that sounded exactly like it. I was like, Neo, sis.
I can't stand Neo.
Like, you gave this song to her. She did it. It's an international success. I get it. But you can't be her. Like, we don't need this from you. You need be Neo. We know you for being Neo. You don't need to be beyond Neo. Like, we don't need that. We don't need Neo say. We don't need that.
Yeah, we don't. We didn't ask for that.
We didn't ask for it. We did not pay for it. We didn't order it. Oh, so yeah. Only one I had was Nothing Out There for Me, because that is just like my ultimate
Yes.
collaboration. Like, I would love. Well, I take that back. I thought about this earlier, and I was saying I would love to see and hear Missy and Beyonce collab again, but
Hmm.
I had to push pause on that, because as much as I love Missy, and I love Missy down, like I have all of Missy's out. I've stayed for Missy since I heard her on like Jodeci's albums. Like, Missy's been around for a long time.
Hmm.
But the latest musical wave that Missy has been on has not really connected with me.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so I want her to get off of that before she collabs with Beyonce again. I don't want what you're doing now and then Beyonce be added to the mix.
Yeah.
Does
There
that
has to
make
be.
sense?
Yeah, it has to be some type of musical synergy between the two, and like
Right.
I think they're on two different waves right now. I
Right.
totally agree.
I mean, it could be a thing where it's like Missy's doing what she feels like, having fun, and that's fine. Do your thing. They
Hmm.
bop a little bit, I might have a little neck swivel for you here and there, maybe a little shoulder shimmy, not on Uzi levels, but a little bit of a shimmy.
A
But
little bit of a shimmy.
as far as beyond, no, I don't. Whatever you have tucked away that you think may not be popular these days, because the kids want to listen to the kind of stuff that you've been doing. Pull that out. Not the stuff that you're doing.
Yeah.
Pull the other stuff out. I go back to the cookbook. Go back to 2006 and rummage around in that bin and pull out some things, and let's see what y'all can come up with. Speaking of, I understand the logistics of the features that she's been doing, but I'm not a huge fan. Like, I like the way that she sang on Walk on Water with Eminem, but I don't like the song. But the thing about
Yeah.
it is, I don't like the song because of Eminem. Like, I don't like what he's doing. This start stop whatever flow that he has going on now. I don't like that shit. It sounds terrible, and his aggressive delivery does not pair well with her angelic vocals on that song.
Yeah.
It sounds a mess. You know what I
Uh-uh.
mean? So I wasn't a fan. I do like the song that she did with Ed Sheeran, but I would have liked that song with a different male lead.
I can't get into Ronald Weasley. I really cannot. I
You know what?
tried
He's a good songwriter. I will give him that. I'm more of a fan of his when it's someone else covering his song.
Hmm.
Like, he has a song, oh, what's the name of that song? I don't even remember. One of his slow songs from his Multiply or X or whatever the album is called.
Hmm.
And I listened to his version and I was like, well, here's a thing that you did. And then I heard a cover by someone named Bonnie Anderson on YouTube, and I said, this is what I need. Let me put this into my iTunes. Because I like the song. I like the lyrics. I like the arrangement. I just didn't care for, he's just one of those, I don't know what that is. But anyway, it's not about him. This is about the queen.
Hello.
It's not about him. So, moving right along. Okay. Whew, okay. Get ready. What song or songs always put you in your feelings?
Whew,
And
this is triggering. This is triggering.
I have a nice collection. They're all ballads too, because she be fucking me up with some of these.
She really do.
Like, first up is Sandcastles. Like, Sandcastles actually choked me up a little bit. Like, one day it caught me off guard. I was listening to Lemonade, as I often do,
Hmm.
and Sandcastles came on, and I was singing along, and all of a sudden, like, my throat got constricted, and I was like, I said, bitch, am I having a heart attack?
Like, who
Lord.
chopping onions?
I hadn't even, like, I didn't have tears. It just, like, my whole body was just like all hitting this one. I was like, what the fuck is going on? And I'm driving, so I'm sitting here like trying to breathe, and I'm like, what the fuck? I hadn't felt that from a song since A Song for Mama by Boyz II Men.
Oh
And
wow.
if anybody knows my family situation,
Yes.
you would understand why that song hit me in my feels when it catches me off guard. So Sandcastles, because the pain in that song, like you can hear it. Even if everything was okay when she recorded it, she
Hmm.
definitely tapped into them feelings, and you can hear that shit in the song.
Yes.
1+1 always gets me in my feeling, but not. I don't care for the recorded version,
Yeah, the live version is a lot
but those
better.
live versions, like I had one day where I sat on YouTube listening to live versions of 1+1 for like 2 hours. Like it just something about the way she does that song just flatline. Okay,
Hmm.
Resentment.
Oh,
Yeah, yeah.
listen, that's the Left Eye, Lisa Left Eye Lopez anthem right there. Like you listen
That's
to
it.
Resentment and you burning somebody's shit.
You burning somebody's shit. And shout out to Nikki, aka Texas Hummingbird. You've heard her. We all got together at her house for something. I don't remember what it was. We were all sitting around, and I don't know if we were lifted or what had been going on, but she like got up on the hearth of her fireplace that she has in her house with her husband, and she was singing Resentment, but she was remixing the lyrics, and she was and we were, oh, it was so good, and we were all so mad because nobody recorded it, but we were so caught off guard. And I mean, she was talking about knocking on the girl door with the butt of her gun, and look at this
Ooh,
scary ass bitch. When I tell you that was the ultimate ghetto remix of Resentment, I still get my life thinking about that.
let me find out Nikki is a goon.
Listen, let me tell you something. If shit goes down, she's the first person I'm calling. And that
Yes,
should tell you
Nikki.
everything you need to know. Still in Love, Kissing You. That puts me in my feels when because that's a wedding song to me. And I think Nikki sang that song at our friend Ariel's wedding, if I'm not
Hmm.
mistaken. So that's a good one. And then the last one is I Was Here.
You like that one?
I love that song. It just,
Really?
yes.
Oh,
I
okay.
get it though.
That's
I know a lot of people don't care for that song, or they feel like it's depressing or whatever. It I don't. It has a different effect on me. It makes me feel like
hmm
I need to be. I want to feel that way. I want to feel like I've done something to leave my mark, and
that's fair. Yeah.
plus just
I
the
didn't.
vocals, everything. I love that song.
Hmm.
Okay, your turn.
So, okay, let me just explain something real quick.
Uh oh.
With every Beyonce era, at the start of every Beyonce era, I have gone through a breakup.
Damn.
And so these songs, and particularly the first two, they always bring me back to a place where I want to fuck shit up.
Oh my.
It's very triggering for me because motherfuckers ain't shit out here. So the first one, I think the first one and one of my favorite Beyonce songs, definitely in my top three,
Mhm.
is Love Drought
Mhm.
from Lemonade. Like that, the melodies, the production, and then the way she married it with the video, just perfection. And I choke up every single time. And throughout the entire Lemonade era, she was performing each and every song. And I'm like, okay, so when the fuck she gonna show some love for the good sis Love Drought? And she pulled it out right at the last moment, like a true
Literally.
G. Like that was perfection. That was icing on the cake for me.
Yeah.
So, Love Drop from Lemonade. I Miss You from Four. That
Mhm.
one.
Mhm. Mhm.
Ugh. It just feels like somebody's just sitting on my chest every time I hear that song.
Yeah.
Like, just,
Frank did that.
of course, Frank did it. A good sissy would write a good "I Miss You" song
Oh
like that.
God.
You're the only sissy who have ever written a song that compares to "I Miss You" is probably Luther Vandross.
Okay, we don't
If
need
you
to go
want a
there.
good "I Miss You" song, you get a gay to write for you. The last one is Mine from Beyonce mixtape. Now, I can do without Aubrey's part, to be honest with you. but the beginning and like how she sets it up and paints the picture of the relationship, kind of crumbling. You kind of, keep everything together. It's very vivid, and I love that about her lyricism. It paints a picture. Like she sings it, you can see what is going on. You can relate that to your own relationships, to your own life, and the beginning of Mine is just, whoo. It just brings me back. It brings me back to a place, and like thinking about it now, like Mine was kind of like a precursor to the entire Lemon era. If you listen to the lyrics for real.
Oh well, yeah.
But
there's been Easter eggs throughout her discography.
yes,
We'll get to that.
Yes.
We'll get to that. We're not there yet, but we'll get there. So
Yes.
you said something interesting that I want to touch on real quick about her lyricism, and I know a common criticism of Beyonce is that she doesn't write her own album. I mean, her own songs, or every song has like 16 writers on it. Blah, 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 blah. First of all, I want y'all to understand how samples and interpolations work, and that
Break it down.
if you sample someone's song, usually you include them in the songwriting credits. So that's number one. Number two, I find it very curious and very interesting that this criticism is reserved for Beyonce, but a lot of the great singers that we go up for were not writing all of their own songs. Whitney Houston was not out here writing every song that she sung.
Exactly.
She didn't
Clive
even write.
Davis.
She didn't even write.
Yeah.
"I Will Always Love You." That's Dolly Parton's
Yes.
song. Like what? So
Right.
it's one of those things where I need y'all to differentiate between just flat out hating and having a valid criticism, because I don't feel like Beyonce is above criticism. She is not perfect. She's very close to it.
Very close to it.
But she's not perfect. She's not above criticism. But if you are going to criticize, at least make sense. All right? Because a lot of times when you look into these album jackets and you get into who's writing the songs, they often have a lot of writers, especially if there's a sample. That's how that works. Why do you think Ed Sheeran's foolish ass had to put Candy and what's his face on that
Smokey
song?
Robinson.
We're not gonna do that because I like Tiny and I do not like. It's not about them, okay? I'm just using that as an example. You bringing up folk that I don't like, and it's not very people that I really don't like, but he one of them. Anyway, get my damn pressure up.
Right.
Okay, so let's switch it up a little bit. We're talking about songs. What's your favorite upbeat song of hers?
Okay, so my favorite upbeat song is actually the greatest Beyonce song ever recorded in history.
Okay.
It's Freakum Dress. Now, a lot of people may not go up Freakum Dress, but take into account Freakum Dress is the epitome of a crescendo. The way she goes up throughout the entire song, she explores her entire vocal range from the main verses to the oh in the background. Like that's the greatest Beyonce song ever. And I told one of my friends, if I ever do drag, that would be the main song that I'll perform to. Like,
Come on, signature song.
listen, Beyonce Freakum Dress is just that girl. And I hate that she kind of pays it death nowadays with the most recent eras, but even that song live,
yeah, I think she kind of goes through cycles, which is fair.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because a lot of people say that about Deja Vu. She pays Deja Vu dust, but I think she just kind of goes through cycles where she's like, I don't like that song right now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
and that's fair. Now, I will say, side note, valid criticism. Beyonce, I love you. We don't need another era of Ring the Alarm.
Oh God, talk about it.
I like Ring the Alarm. I like the whole thing that you've done. I don't want to see it anymore.
With that military choreography, even though we love you
and the low rider part and all of that stuff, I love it. I love it. When she first started performing Ring the Alarm back when Bday came out, I was like, that was my shit. Because anything with some anger in it and some bitch, I'll fuck you up, I'm here
that's
for
the song. Wait, that's the song that she fell on, didn't she? She fell down them stairs.
I think
During the Beyonce experience, I
was it?
believe so. Yes, because she had that red coat, and her heel got caught in that red coat, and it was Charlotte takes a tumble down them stairs.
Oh, and that was a long fall too.
It was.
She was like, "Please don't put this on YouTube."
Right,
I was
right.
like, "Girl." Another side note, before I get into what my favorite upbeat song is, shout out to this to the team. When you talk about the Avengers, you go to Beyonce. Like if the world is in a crisis, I'm going to Beyonce because that woman knows how to assemble a team.
Listen,
Because I have yet to see another artist that can get things snatched from the internet the way that she can, who puts
low
together
key,
tours the way she does, who
low key,
can
Beyonce
keep
the feds.
low key, who can keep whole visual albums a secret. And this time, and with Al Gore's internet running rapid, people leaking people whole albums they done worked 2-3 years on, and you leak the shit. Don't give a fuck about taking money out their pocket for her to be able to keep her projects under the Avengers. Okay,
Yes.
Beyonce is the Colonel Fury of this shit. All right,
I really want to read her NDAs. Like,
listen.
my goal is to cook for her one day
I feel like
and just like read her NDA,
I
just
feel
so I can
like
see like.
that would be like a 2-3 day endeavor because them NDAs have to be long and ironclad.
Listen,
Because Mama don't play. Mama be like,
She-
if you say anything, when you sign here, I need you to understand that your life is forfeit. Okay.
your life, your kids' life, your grandkids' life, bitch. I
Okay.
own you and me.
Understand.
That's what that NDA
If
said.
you say anything, when you go to bed that night, you're gonna wake up, you and your family, and it's gonna be the motherfucking Hunger Games. And ain't gonna be no victor.
Listen,
them
may the
NDAs
odds be ever in your favor.
Ain't no odds in your favor, bitch. Okay. So my favorite upbeat song is "Get Me Body." Like
Yes, that was
Just
the next one on my list. but I
everything
didn't
about
mention it.
that song, Swiss beats on the track, the visuals, the vocals, the dance sequence, and can I say another side note? Beyonce, I love you down. I love your feminism. I surely do. But sweetie, a lot of us are gay men. Can you please bring back the male dancers? And not the damn twins, because I hated that era.
Oh, them niggas! I can't stand
I
them.
hated that. Like, it was cute at first, but then when she did the whole tour with them, and I was like,
And they rude as fucking person.
oh,
Just-
really?
Yes, I remember for the Mrs. Carter World show, I went to Atlanta to see it, and that's another horror story, but we can save that for later. But we went to the after party, and they were there in VIP, like dancing and shit. And so people like were pulling out their phones. They were going up to people like snatching their phones, like, "No, don't record." I'm like, "Well, mother, stop dancing! You a dancer for Beyonce, and you in here dancing in front of
we
me?
ain't at the
What
venue.
fuck?"
Anyway,
Right?
I was not a fan of the whole Lace twins, whatever you want to call them. Lace gone now, and I'm glad about it. But the rest of them dancers, specifically the main dancer that she used to dance with in Get Me Body with his fine ass.
Oh, nigga, BC.
Yeah,
I met him in when I lived in Cincinnati. He went to a Janet Jackson show, and I took a picture with him. Like, he is super nice.
he's super
And
fine. That's
low
what he is.
key, he could be. I'm just saying.
I mean, he's a. Anyway, we don't need to do that. But yeah, Get Me Body. Like I watched the video last night, the extended version. Like that, the whole thing just gets me hype every time I hear it. I fucking love Get Me Body.
Yes.
So, what's your favorite deep cut or like unreleased track?
So I have 3.
Gotta dig into the stand vault.
Yes. So number 1 is "Lost Your Mind" from the Bday era.
Ooh, I forgot about that. Well, I didn't forget about it, but yes, that's a good
Yes.
one.
And she kind of incorporated it in the Ring the Alarm set during the Formation
Yeah, she
World
did.
Tour.
Yeah. Every now and
And
then she'll sneak a little bit of stuff in there.
Mm-hmm.
I can't remember which performance it was, but she had all of the dancers, and they all had jackets on with the month of the year. And so I remember me and my friend, we got hyped because we thought she was going to perform at least a little bit of Signs, but she did. And we were like,
Oh, womp.
strong womp. Okay, what's next?
Okay, this next one is kind of controversial, but Creole from the Bday era too. I
I can see
absolutely
why that would
love.
be controversial. I can see that.
A lot of people don't like it, but I'm from New Orleans, so it just hits home for me because I feel like I'm a badass red bone. So
Now, I like the song. Now, I will say the first time I heard it, and I was like, brown bone. I ain't never heard that, but okay. Okay, what's next?
the last one is from the Dangerously in Love era. It's a song called "Keep Giving Your Love to Me." It was
Okay.
on the Bad Boys 2 soundtrack, and P Diddy produced it, and it kind of gives you that same feel of Crazy in Love, but it's more like static and like real upbeat and more hip hop, more urban, more dirty. It was a jam. Like I downloaded that shit from Napster,
Oh,
and then
way back.
way back to the Napster days because I don't think it's available now. But if y'all don't know that song, y'all need to go and download her and give her
Yeah,
a
it's
cute spin.
probably on YouTube.
Yeah, probably is. But
Okay,
those are my three.
okay. So I have two. The first one is "Forever to Bleed."
Come on.
That song just I don't know any song where she just is like yelling and her some of her favorite songs of mine are like her ain't shit songs where
hmm
she's being terrible. So "Forever to Bleed" and like "Confessions" when she's just being awful. I'm like this is the song that I go up for.
Yes.
And "Save Your Judgment," "Judge Your Dick Sucking Stepmama," as John would say.
Ooh.
And the other one is a song called "Settle for You," which is also now I love this song. I love the way she performs it, and
hmm
she's the ups and the downs and the highs and the lows. But I am not a sheep, and I have to always preface this by saying the message of "Settle for You" is awful. Like it is an awful message,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
it is a
It really is.
fantastic song. So I used to be conflicted about that, be like, it's such a good song, but it's such a terrible message. Like, don't do
hmm
this, don't do this. I'm glad she never
Yes.
released that song because, ugh,
It's problematic.
it's problematic. But it would add to that controversy that used to, I mean, still comes up every now and then. But remember how they used
hmm
to always say the controversy between independent women and Cater to You.
Oh yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
feel like if she had ever released "Settle for You," that would have just been the nail in the coffin
hmm
on that. Which can I, real quick, it says a lot about because it's mostly men that had that criticism, and it says a lot that y'all don't understand that a woman can be independent and have her own shit and not depend on a man, but still want to do things for a good man that she has in her life. That concerns me, and it
All right.
always has. It's been years, and I've seen some real popular niggas on Twitter. That be the first thing that they say, and I'm just like, oh,
That shit is so outdated. Like I really wish people would embrace the gift of duality. Yes, I can do
right.
this on my own, but motherfucker, you could do it for me sometimes too. But don't get it twisted, because if you fuck up, just know that I really don't need you for real.
It's not even that. It's I'm a strong, independent woman. I'm out here getting it. I'm not depending on you to take care of me. But I also realize that part of my job as your partner is to sometimes do a little bit of something for you. I might cook you up a little meal. I might brush your little hair a little bit, get you some beard oil and
hmm
massage. You know what I mean? And my thing is, why does it have to be one or the other? Because if I'm a straight man, that's what I want. My woman is gonna go out there and get it on her own. I don't have to hold her hand. I don't have to pay for everything. Now, if I want to, that's one thing, but I don't
Right.
have to because she has that drive. But then when she come home, she still is gonna be like, "I'm gonna take care of my babe." Like to me, that sounds like the ultimate. But y'all niggas so damn
hmm
stupid, and y'all just want to criticize for no damn reason. Anyway, I just want to say that real quick. Okay, so who would you like to see her do a duet with?
Okay,
Because we also
so
don't have many duets from her. Like Mama is real selective about her stuff.
she is
Like I
she's
said,
apt.
the new stuff that she has out, I get it. She got Coachella coming up. She tapping into that
Hmm.
white audience. That's why I'm not mad. Even though the Eminem song is terrible, the Ed Sheeran song is okay. I like it, but I
Hmm.
get what you're doing. Mama's is a mastermind in marketing
Yes,
when she feels like it.
when she feels like it.
Because we know a lot of times she'd be like, "Fuck that shit.
Okay.
What's promotion? I don't
Okay,
know
what is
her."
that? Fuck sleep. Fuck you and your sleep and your wallet while you at it.
Gotta stay. I'm telling y'all, gotta keep your B savings ready because
Okay. My mom always said, if you ain't ready, you better get ready.
if you stay ready, you ain't got to get ready.
Hmm.
Okay, so do it.
But duets. So I kind of broke it up a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
So, in my opinion, Beyonce's greatest duets and collaborations are the ones with herself. So the first collaboration I would like to see her do, or a duet that I would like to see her do, is a duet with Third Ward Trill. Bring Third Ward Trill back. We need to hear you rapping on the end of your song, circa Kitty Cat. Like we want to hear that Texas Bum B, Pimp C, UGK influence. Like, or at least me. When I say we, I mean I. I can only
Mm-hmm.
speak for myself. But I love it when she raps and like she just like reminds you, yes, I'm in heels, but I got a Glock in the back. So don't get it twisted.
Mm-hmm.
But I love to see her do some type of like rapping kitty cat style track in the future. From a production standpoint, I would have really liked to see her do a duet with Jay Dilla.
Mm.
And if you don't know who Jay Dilla is, he produced "Didn't You Know" by Erica
Erica Badu.
Badu.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I feel like his production and her harmonies and melodies together, it'll just be like on some next level type shit. The last duet, and it's kind of left field, but hang on there with me. But I would like to see her do a duet with FKA Twigs. And it's
Mm.
out there, but think about this. Think about a No Angel Pendulum collaboration. Like if you haven't heard FKA Twigs Pendulum, like go listen to it and then listen to No Angels and then report back to me.
Okay, I have to listen to that because I tried with FKA Twigs and I was like, this is more like FOH Twigs, so it
Oh,
wasn't my ministry. It just
she's cute.
she is cute, but I was trying to listen, and then I was like, well, let me give the live performance. And then it wasn't for me.
Hmm.
So I would have to give that particular song a spin and see if I can see what you're saying.
Yes, yes.
So I broke it up as far as male duet and female.
Hmm.
So I would love to hear her do a duet with Luke James.
Oh, yes.
And I
God.
feel like something has happened. Like there's got to be at least video on somebody's phone of them singing together because when he was opening for her and was in the Super Bowl,
Hmm.
like there has to be something on somebody's phone of them singing together.
Yes. That
But
would
I
be
would like a whole
amazing.
track because I just feel like his range and with
Hmm.
her range, and she pulling out the growls and everything. I feel like that would just be epic.
They really would.
And as far as female, I really thought about this a lot, and I was thinking who would she sound good with. And I came up with Jasmine Sullivan, and the reason why is because not only vocally, but Jasmine can write the hell out of a song.
That she can.
And so I feel like if Jasmine wrote a song like she did that one song that she did with the lady, I can't remember her name, and or something that she did on Mary's latest album,
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
I feel like that would be dope. And maybe something a little bit more upbeat or at
Hmm.
that mid tempo level that they could, do it, that when she performs live, she could put a little dance to it. But I just feel like their voices, they would find a way for their voices to complement each other because Beyonce is very good for adapting depending on who she's with.
Hmm.
And they're both queens of background vocals. So I feel like
They really
the
are.
background vocals alone, like it could be a whole song of background vocals, and we would get our lives.
Yes. But
Because
Beyonce has said before that Jasmine Sullivan is one of her favorite artists. So that collaboration could be
we need that
in
to
the
happen. We need
works.
that to happen. Fuck all the shit about Adele. We don't need no collaboration with Adele. What we need is Jasmine Sullivan.
Adele doesn't have the range.
She really doesn't.
She does not.
Like I watched the video and it was listen, y'all put in work on YouTube, okay? And I applaud you. YouTube is the original receipts. The way Tumblr has the receipts, YouTube is the original. Never forget her because she is the founder. So I saw a video and it was like Whitney Houston versus Beyonce versus somebody else versus Adele, and they were going note by note, and it was it was basically a video showing Adele does not have the range that y'all think she does.
She really don't.
And I was like, and I heard that before, but I fell off of Adele real hard with 25 because I was not really a fan of 25 at all. So when I watched that video and I was like, holy shit, she really doesn't.
Yeah, she doesn't have the range. She doesn't have the stamina.
And that doesn't mean that
That's
she's
very
not a good
important.
singer. Like I enjoy her
Right.
singing in her voice, but as far as vocal range, when I saw that video, I was like, oh, I mean, because you can't lie. I mean, you can't argue with facts. Like
You
it's
really can't.
there. You hear it. And they went note by note. They've had little subtitles that told you what the note was.
High E over middle C.
And here go Whitney, here go Beyonce, and it was not saying that Beyonce was better than. It was kind of like a start with Whitney. Whitney is the standard,
Right.
you know. Here's Beyonce. Beyonce's the remix, and then here's Adele, and it's like, well, so anyway. So yeah, I would love to see add to that Jasmine Sullivan duet. I would like for them to bring in Frank Ocean in the mix too. I don't want him singing on the track, but I want him to help produce and help write.
Yeah,
I feel like that would be what we need. Okay, what's your favorite song or songs to see her perform?
My favorite. Well, I've already said "Freakum Dress," so
Oh yeah,
that's
you did.
that is just yes.
And we don't have many. There's not many live performances of that.
Right. But the song that I love to see her perform the most is Crazy in Love. Not because of the song itself, like, it's really big. It's the song that launched her solo career. But that song is like, what, 14, 15 years old? And she's still performing it and making it fresh and
It's
remixing
such a
it.
high energy performance.
It really is. Like, no matter what the era, no matter what the year, that shit is always fresh. And she's always, like, either switching up the arrangement or switching up the choreography. And, it's I love the way she takes that standard and makes, like, 10 different versions of it.
Yeah.
And it's still hot.
The other thing I
love that
love
one.
about live performances of Crazy in Love is that she usually uses that to shut people up. Because, with that run, right after the bridge, because I recently came across that video again. Some guy wrote this whole article about how she can't sing and he came to the concert. And she was like, oh, you know the run? Here you go.
Ooh!
And he tried to do it and she was like, exactly, and walked off.
Yes!
Like and I like that too because, that's because there's not many places where she let the audience like sing, like she'll put them, but that run she does that pretty often.
Yes.
So that's one thing that I really appreciate. So Crazy in Love was on my list too. And I don't even really go up for Crazy in Love like I used to when it first came out and everything, but I do love seeing it in the catalog and in the lineup when she does her live performances, because that's not a song that I listen to that often on its own. So it makes me appreciate it when she sings it live even more. And like you said, the changes in the arrangements and all those little tweaks in the choreography and it's just like she could be dog tired and you might even be able to tell that she's dog tired But when Crazy in Love comes on, she's gonna give you everything. If she's gonna pull energy from the depths of hell if she has to, and she's gonna give you a full live energy, high energy performance with Crazy in Love.
Yes,
always.
When I think of Crazy in Love live, I always think of me leaving the barbershop and walking
that walk
the way that she walks.
That walk. You ready?
Whew. Lord
I'm
Jesus,
okay. I'm here for it. Okay, so my favorite songs to see her perform live are, I think I said this already, but 1+1. Just because I just love the way she sings that song live. Like I don't even listen to the studio version. The next one is Flawless, just because that's another one that just gets me hyped. And I love the H-Town dance that she does at the bow down part before she gets into the Flawless part. And that's another song that I like that has a lot of audience participation that just gets everybody hype. And then the other one, and this is a recent addition, was Formation. Like, it's just something about the performance of Formation that just takes me from 0 to 850 every time. I don't know what it is. Like, for the choreography in Formation is some of my favorite. There's some parts that I don't care for, but as a whole, the Formation choreography is some of my favorite. And when the Formation World Tour, when she just opened with that song, and then they walk down that catwalk and walk to that little Bday, I was like, I am here for all of this.
That part fucked me up because
I said, she's coming out.
Right, she's coming out on the B stage.
Like, I get it. Most concerts, they start off on a high energy note because that's how concerts are if they know what they're doing. Because if you start your concert off with a ballad, sis. Anyway, but
Latasha from Escape.
Girl. Project Pat, get on my... You know what? Let me not do that. That's not nice.
Your words, not mine.
I mean, this is not anything I haven't said before, but that's not nice. Let me stop. It's not about her. Wow. So yes, Formation is my last one. Okay, so last question before we start getting into the rankings. What's your favorite era?
My favorite era is Bday. Bday is just a party. It makes me feel good. Bday is the era that I feel like she came into her own. Like Dangerously in Love, it set her up, but Bday like rocket launched her ass. I feel like she challenged herself so much during that era. From the music, making the album in 2.5 weeks, doing a tour. That was one of her longest tours that she's ever done. The choreography was such a step up from Dangerously in Love. And I think that's the thing that I love the most about it, is that the choreography and the music was so together and intertwined. Like, you can't have one without the other. Like, that B-Day era it brings me back to undergrad. It brings me back to parties. It brings me back to Get Me Bodied. It brings me back to so many like good memories. Another era, honorable mention era, I should say, is definitely Lemonade. I feel like Lemonade, it was not really a surprise like the Beyonce era, but it kind of set her up and established her icon status.
Yeah, so
I love that about that era.
Lemonade is my favorite era, like, because I feel like Lemonade, we can see the growth of her vision, and I feel like it really started with Self-Titled, like that visual album. She showed us a different side of her, that I have this vision, and I want you guys to see it, and she was able to capture it and display it in a way that was easy to take in and is beautiful. And I feel like Lemonade was a continuation of that, but in conjunction with that, Lemonade had the grown woman / adult level that I didn't know that I needed from her. Like, Self-Titled was a start, but seeing the breakdown of Lemonade and not so much the content of what she was actually going through, now that we know for sure, but just seeing the display and seeing the process, and it's something it's something amazing to see a whole emotional process displayed visually the way it was with music and just so Lemonade is definitely my favorite era.
Yeah.
It just it gave me so many things that, like I said, I didn't even know I needed in general and from Beyonce. Like I was not expecting. We knew Lemonade was coming, but I was not expecting Lemonade to be what it was.
Right. I feel like Lemonade is her most
It's her
cohesive era.
It's the most cohesive. I agree. It's the most vulnerable, and
it was executed so well.
it
Like
really was.
again, the way she married the visual to the music, and like I feel like with self-titled, she put the music first and then had the visuals to accompany the music. But with Lemonade,
With
it was like the visuals first.
I don't even think it was the visuals first. I think it was all together. It was the same time.
Yeah.
And I kind of get it because back in the gap when I was a whole different person, you know, before the aliens snatched me up and replaced me with the clone. Like I used to that, you know, and I think a lot of people, like we all used to do that when we were like in high school and middle school. We used to write songs and stuff like that. I had a notebook that I would write songs in. But the reason why I connected with that is because when I used to write songs, I would hear the melody in my head as I'm writing it. I would see visuals of what's happening as I was writing it. So I can see Lemonade coming together as a cohesive unit because it wasn't, I'm going to work on this one piece at this time. And then it could have very well been that, but I feel like even if you work on it piece by piece, if you have the full vision in your head, it's going to come together in a different way than if you do it piece by piece and then you try to put it together.
Right.
If that makes sense. So
yeah,
Lemonade is definitely my favorite. Just because, you know, I'm a grown ass man now, and I get the nostalgia of Bday and all those stuff, but you know, as right now I'm a grown man, I'm a grown adult, I'm a grown titty woman, and seeing those emotional that emotional maturity in an artist that I've always loved work just really takes me from A to B. So okay, so let's get into some rankings. First up, what's your favorite song per album? So let's start with Dangerously in Love. What's your favorite song on Dangerously in Love?
My favorite song is, I have two, Signs and Speechless.
Ooh, Speechless is a good one.
Yes, every time I hear Signs, again, it's that damn Missy Elliott collaboration.
I told you.
It's just magic, right? Like, even though she kind of plays my sign in the song.
Oh, she played mine too, but
Okay, we can forgive her for that.
We can forgive her for that because the overall product, is excellent. Yeah, that's my favorite song from Dangerously in Love too. Signs I will always go up for Signs, and I'm hoping, we're gonna get into that later. Okay, so Bday, what's your favorite song from Bday?
Freakum Dress. Okay. I'm sorry, guys. Like, Freakum Dress is just that song. Kitty Cat is a close second, but Freakum Dress is just the alpha and the omega. Okay. Sorry about it.
So I said earlier that Get Me Body was my favorite upbeat song, but my favorite song from Bday is Upgrade You.
Oh, that is a good one.
It's just a good song, and then that video I think is what solidified it. Like now, when I listen to the song, I always envision that video because her portrayal of Jay was spot the fuck on.
It really was.
I was like, damn. I was like, is this really Jay? But it's just like Photoshop to look like her. Like shit. Anyway, okay. So the next one I broke it up into two pieces. So it's I Am Sasha Fierce, but I broke it up because of pieces. So from the I Am side, what's your favorite song?
Disappear.
Okay.
Like I don't care for that.
We can
album
get into that later. We can get into that later.
Yes, but that song it just hits me.
Okay.
It just it's very a tender spot for me.
Okay.
Just saying.
So my favorite song from the I Am side of that album is "Smash Into You."
Yes.
That's just I don't even.
I'm willing to run. I am willing to run. Whew.
Okay, and smash into you. I don't really understand. I'm not 100% sure what smash into you means because I've never been in love, but I imagine it's a good thing.
Let me tell you. Well, if you properly plan, it can be a great thing. But
That's
if
not
you,
what we're talking about.
well,
So,
I'm just saying,
the
it's called Gay Side Stories. I'm just trying to
okay, but
say,
we
like,
not talking about gay side stories on this episode. Okay, okay, we're not talking about that. Well, that's a whole different episode.
whoo,
Okay, so the Sasha Fierce side.
video phone. Like,
That's an
I think I
interesting
like
choice.
it because it's ratchet, kind of.
You want a
And
video,
during
man?
that era, a lot of up and coming choreographers were like doing dance productions to it. And specifically, this guy, he goes by the moniker Didn't Invite Me.
All
He
right.
did like an entire production around that song specifically. And Sean Bankhead was in it. A couple of other up and coming choreographers was in it, and they just killed that shit. Like they were in like a parking garage, and I think that kind of like marries that as my favorite song for me off of the Sasha Fierce side.
Okay. Um, my favorite is "Hello" from Sasha Fierce.
Yeah, that's a good one, and it's great
Yeah,
live too.
yeah. And it was the live that solidified. Like I liked the
Hmm.
song when I first heard it. I was like, okay, this is my this is my favorite song from what I've heard. But when I saw her perform it live, I said, okay, I feel
Hmm.
good about this choice. This is a good decision. Honorable mention
Yeah,
goes to Ego because I love songs where she talking her shit.
yes, that's a good one too.
So honorable mention to Ego. Okay, 4.
Definitely, I care.
That's a good one.
I care the way. Okay, so I didn't fully appreciate I Care until Life is But a Dream came out, and
Mm-hmm.
she showed that clip of her recording it, and like her vocals were so strong but still raw. And then I went back on YouTube and found that clip of the producer breaking down like the
Yeah,
way she
yeah, I watched
layered
that, and that was a
the
long ass
vocals.
video, but I watched every
Wasn't it
second of it.
though? That was like a master class in like vocal production for real.
It really was. I watched
And
all of it too.
like that I Care is just a beast vocally, and it's definitely one of my faves from the Four album.
Okay, so I have two answers on this one because my favorite song from Four was not actually on Four. It's one of the B-side songs, and it was "Lay Up
Hmm.
Under Me."
Ah, don't you worry about a thing. Just come and lay up under me
You ain't
tonight.
got to worry about no motherfucking club. Come lay up under these
Okay.
titties, get your
Hello.
life.
Got some little
So
Debbie snack cakes.
okay. So that's my favorite song from Four. But I chose another one because that song wasn't technically on Four. So my favorite
Hmm.
song that was on the actual album is Start Over.
Really?
Yeah. 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 I love that song. Just
How so?
you know, it is the message because
Hmm.
I feel like the first time I really heard it and appreciated it, I was going through a point of trying to start over with someone in my life. And
Hmm.
so it really touched me. But beyond that, just, I mean, I love Four because Four was the album where she finally was like, you know what? I don't need to hold back vocally. I just need to
Hmm.
be more strategic with my vocals. But
Right.
Four was the album where she was like, you bitches forgot that I can sing.
Yeah.
So I need to
Uh-huh.
remind you. And it's not going to be a gentle reminder. And so the way that she performed for and the growling and everything just because I love when she growls on the track. I don't give a fuck what nobody say. When she gets the
Yes.
growling, that shit gets me hype. So Start Over is my favorite song for those reasons. Okay, so self-titled.
Self-titled. So I said before, I love mine. I also love No Angel. When Self-Titled came out, I played No Angel out. But my absolute favorite is Below. Like,
Yes!
who thought that a
Blow.
song about cunnilingus would be so good?
Listen, Blow is just it just has such a feel good vibe. I love that it has Pharrell and Timbaland on the track doing the production.
Yes.
the beat changes,
Mm-hmm.
and it just it's such a even though it's about kitty licking, it's such a feel good song. Like it just you put that on and you just want to dance and like eat barbecue ribs and shit
Okay.
and just have a good ass time. And then when the visual, you watch the video and you see they and skating and shit, and then that gets you hype and you're like, oh shit, we can skate to this song and get our
Right.
lives and have a good ass time. So Blow is definitely my favorite song from self-titled. Okay.
My favorite part about that Blow visual though is when the production changes and goes from Pharrell's to Timberland's part, and she's in that car bouncing her booty up and
Oh yeah, when
down.
she's on top of that car. Mm-hmm.
I'm not gonna confirm or deny this, but sometimes I do that in the shower.
Come on, shower.
Uh-huh. Connect PayPal if you want to see that.
Come on, coin. Already. Okay, last but not least, Lemonade. What's your favorite song from Lemonade?
Lemonade, I have a top three.
Oh, okay.
I love
Lemonade was
6
such a
inch.
fucking era. My God.
It really was. Like, I think it's just that it's gonna be that era that just stands the test of time, to be honest with you. But my favorites from Lemonade is 6 inch, even though Friday, Saturday, Sunday is on there, and I can't really take too much of him.
You know, that's
But
not even what makes me mad about 6 inch. What made me mad about 6 inch is that she didn't perform it in concert until like the last 2 or 3 shows.
right, the last damn show.
And maybe, yeah, I think it was only, I feel like she did it maybe the last two, but it may have just been the last one. When she closed the show out in New York and she showed out. And I have a gripe with Beyonce, but we'll get to that a little bit later. Okay, so that's two. So what's your third? No, that's one. Sorry. So what's your
Yeah,
second?
definitely Zaddy Lessons. I love that song, even though
Come on,
I
Texas
really
Two Step.
I don't like country music at all. Like that is one of the. I feel like country music sounds like discrimination,
Oh
prejudice.
God.
The song,
Yeah.
the genre of my oppressor. But Zaddy Lessons, and that's Zaddy with the Z. I
Hmm.
love that song. I love the message. It actually makes me think of my own daddy, even though he wasn't the type to like drink whiskey and shit. But he
Hmm.
had a gun and several rifles. So it just reminds me of my own daddy. And the last one is definitely Love Drought. Like,
Hmm.
again, that song just
Yeah.
hits me in my chest every single time.
Yeah. I didn't really connect with Love Drought the way a lot of people did. I like the song, but I just didn't connect with it. My favorite song from Lemonade is All Night. Like the first time I heard that song to now, again, that's one of those songs that I can put on repeat and just listen to it. I just love the flow. I love the way she sings it. I
Hmm.
love the message, even though I mean it's just kind of like. And another thing about it took me a long time to understand. I like the song just from what I heard, but it took me a
Hmm.
long time to understand it because, again, this whole emotional process that she went through, forgiveness, and I was, when I first listened to, not watched it, because there's a lot in between when you watch it. When I first
Hmm.
listened to Lemonade all the way through, I mean, emotionally, I was stuck on "Don't Hurt Yourself."
Ha,
So it took
hello.
me a long time to understand. And I mean, and it's only I want to say in the last few months that I've started to appreciate Love Drop because I just could not understand it. You
Hmm.
know what I mean? Like I inched a little bit further, and then I got stuck on Sandcastles. So
Hmm.
I didn't understand Love Drought. I didn't understand All Night. I did not understand. I mean, Freedom is kind of like a. I
Yeah,
mean, I
definitely.
get it. I get it, but the way that she presented it is a little different. Anyway,
Yeah.
so we're gonna get into the last part of this, and that is album rankings because we've been at it for a long time. But if you love Beyonce the way we love Beyonce, you've been getting your life the whole time, or you've been
Hello.
yelling or typing very fast because you didn't like some of our picks for stuff. It is what it is. So,
Let me tell you something. If you didn't like any of our picks, let me tell you something. It is okay to be wrong, people.
okay. Anyway, so album rankings, and I did this on Twitter, and I have a couple of different people's rankings just to stir the pot a little bit. But I wanted to start off with someone, one of my followers, my mutuals on Twitter, her at name is Sylphan, and she presented Beyonce's discography, and she was like, "This is what I get from each album," and that was where I coined the phrase "a concept discography." So, with "Dangerously in Love," she said, "Dangerously in Love is I love Jay." Bday was fuck this nigga.
Oh.
I Am Sasha Fierce was I love my husband. 4 was I'm doing all right. Self-titled was Girl, I'm trying. And Lemonade is fuck this nigga, why am I still with him? Forgiveness, but I ain't gonna forget. And that just funny. That tickled me. I was like, come through concept discography.
Yes.
Okay, so I'm gonna go through some of these. So my friend Nikki, that I've been talking about on throughout the show, shout out to you, aka Texas Hummingbird on Twitter. Her rankings were: number 1 was Lemonade, number 2 is 4, number 3 is Self-Titled, number 4 is Bday, then Dangerously in Love, and then I Am Sasha Fierce. So I said, okay, I get that. My friend Bree,
hey Bree,
who you've heard on the show, her rankings were Lemonade, Self-Titled, Bday, 4,
okay,
Dangerously in Love, I Am Sasha Fierce.
Whew.
And then I asked Adrian with his trash ass, aka Huss, who you've heard on the show before.
Hey Adrian.
No, ain't no hey Adrian, because he's wait. So he said, Self-Titled, Lemonade, Bday, 4, I Am Sasha Fierce, Dangerously in Love. And I thought that was pretty interesting because I want to say that was one of the first times I've seen someone put Dangerously in Love last. And then the last one, which was controversial and really pretty much birthed this episode, was Mal, aka Mr_MKN on Twitter. He gave his ranking, and he said it's 4.
Nope.
Lemonade. Self-Titled. Dangerously in Love. I Am Sasha Fierce.
Nope.
Bday.
See, when you do clownery.
And when I say people was like, what the fuck? And Max was the first one to pop in our mentions like, I mean, how I don't understand how you put Bday last when I Am Sasha Fierce is right there. It's right there. And I
right
said,
the fuck there.
I said, oh my goodness. So with that being said, what is your ranking?
So the ranking.
No. What is your ranking?
The ranking. So I'll start, from the bottom up. So number 6 is I Am Sasha Flop. Number 5 is Dangerously in Love. Number 4 is 4. Number 3 is Self-Titled. Number 2, Lemonade. And number 1 is that girl, Miss Bday. And I'd like to say, like, this is, it's comparing Beyonce against Beyonce. So you're comparing perfection against perfection.
Oh, goodness.
But Bday is just, if you don't have Bday in your top 3, then you need to reevaluate your stand-up. Like, on some real shit.
And that was one of those things that you guys feel free to tweet me or leave comments on SoundCloud, because I really want to understand why, and this is specific to gay men, but anybody, I guess, but why so many gay men put Bday as their top album. And I did ask that on Twitter, and a couple people like XD was like, we love sissy beats with nonsensical lyrics, and, people had different answers. Oh, it's just a party vibe, or I was going through something at that time, or, it's just a fuck you nigga album. So I'm just curious. I'm not saying that it's wrong, because unlike most of y'all, I don't judge, because what finds your lost remote? does not find mine. So whatever ranking you want, that is up to you. That's between you and whatever deity you pray to. I don't give a damn. So my ranking is, so the first two flip flop, to be quite honest, because it depends on my mood.
Come on, verse albums.
Okay, first albums for never mind. Never mind. So today I said 4 was number 1, but again the first two flip flop. So 4, Lemonade, Self-Titled.
Oh my God.
Bday, Dangerously in Love, and then I Am Sasha Fierce.
What are we gonna do with you?
Love me, just the way I E.
Do we have to?
Absolutely. You know, I mean, it's just one of those things. I get it, but I just don't. I don't connect with B-Way. I don't connect with Bday the way a lot of people do. And that's not to say that I don't love Bday, because I do. I absolutely, I stand for Bday. But in comparison with the other out, like again, 4, because 4 is number 1 today or number 2 tomorrow, whatever. Just because I really appreciate that album, because again, that album was her first album when she was by herself. She was managing herself. She was doing everything herself. And she said, the first thing I'm going to do when I step out and I feel my own pussy is I'm going to teach you bitches that I can fucking sing. And it just, I stand. You know what I mean? And then Lemonade. So the reason why, and I'm not going to do a breakdown of all of them, but the reason why for Lemonade is because, as I mentioned earlier, that emotional journey, just, it does something to me, and I just stand for that album. Like, because I can listen to the album and still feel the concept without the visuals. I mean, I'm glad that I saw the visuals first, and I get the criticism that the album on its own is not as strong. I still like it because, and I stand for it, and it's high up in my rankings, because even without the visuals, that's still an album where sis is crossing genres. Okay, she's giving you rock, alternative. She's giving you country. She's giving you R&B. She's giving you pop. She's giving you get your ass up and put your fist in the air.
Yeah, she gave y'all niggas Zydeco.
She's giving you some of everything, and so I just cannot not stand for that album on its own, even without the visuals, just because Beyonce's doing a fucking country song, or starting off with Zydeco and then moving into country. Beyonce's doing a fucking rock song, which, again, don't hurt you. Anyway, I don't need to do that because I will be on the soapbox all damn day. So, with that being said, we're going to do a special Beyonce / Destiny's Child edition of the Queer Query, and then we're going to get out of here. Question. So, first question. Which Destiny's Child song would you have liked to see or hear the ladies perform in honor of their 20-year anniversary?
Definitely Killing Time. I feel like
that's a
okay. So
let's
define.
Well, not B-side.
Let's define what members are performing, real quick. Are we talking Kelly, Beyonce, Michelle, or are we bringing out everybody but Farrah?
I guess it's up to you.
Well, I think if we bringing out everybody, I would say Killing Time. I feel like they can.
I mean, everybody but Farrah.
Those.
I don't see them bringing out Farrah, and I don't see Farrah wanting to be brought out.
She's
her
somewhere.
I don't think so. You know, they love her in one of those Latin countries. Like, they stand for her.
Really?
And I'm like, what is there to stand for? Like, what has she done?
Literally nothing.
She had a song.
Farrah is.
I gave it I don't want to say I gave it a fair try, but when I saw that they were standing for her, I said, well, what are you standing for? Like, what material? I'm not even trying to be shady. I was like, what material are you standing for? So she had some video and a song, and I listened to it, and I was like, I don't know what's going on. I don't know if it was Brazil, or I was like, I don't know what's going on down there. I don't know if it's something in the water, but I need y'all to get it together, because this is not it.
How you stand for Farrah? Farrah is probably somewhere folding up clothes in a dressing room at H&M. Like, you can't stand for that.
I feel like she did her her rounds as a video girl, being like a love interest and stuff in videos, and other than that, I don't know. But anyway, I would venture to say, even if they somehow managed to bring everybody out, Farrah would not be brought out.
Yeah, she's somewhere missing right with her luggage.
Okay, Castaway.
Okay, but I would also like to see them perform T-Shirt. T-Shirt is my favorite Destiny's Child song.
That's a good song. That's
I
a
love
really
it so much.
good song. Okay, for me, I said Cater to You because I would love to see them like dig out that old choreography, dust it off a little bit, update it, freshen it up a little bit. You know, give it a little douse of perfume, give it a little whole bath, and
we call that a pat.
Give it to us again. And also, just because that's one of my favorite songs to see Destiny's Child perform live, because the good sis Beyonce goes off at the end.
She really does.
Like pretty
I
much
don't care
every
what my mama said.
performance that I've ever seen of them do that song, she goes the fuck off. And my favorite of them, and I have it in my iTunes, is they were on ABC live, like, you know, the morning things that they do on like GMA or something. And Homegirl went off so much that Kelly and Michelle was like, girl, you better tell that man. I was like, she went smooth in. So I would definitely like to see them dust that off. And then if we talking about original members plus Michelle, probably their first, like dust off No, and just give us a little shoulder shimmy and a little something. Maybe let some of the other girls sing some parts of the song. You know, how they kind of did with Bills to make Michelle feel more included when they went on tour.
Oh, yeah.
And Michelle was singing that second verse. You use my cell phone. And listen, you can say what you want about Michelle, but I feel like somebody ran up a bill in Michelle's name and she was still mad.
She was.
She was upset. And I get it, girl, because them phone companies will take advantage of your ass in a hot ass minute. Okay, anyway, we're off track. Back on track. Are you always the Beyonce in your group of friends, or do you share the spotlight sometimes and are the Kelly or the Michelle or the LaToya? Because I feel like if you willingly are the Latavia or the Farrah, then you need to reevaluate quite a few things in your life. So I stopped at LaToya.
Yeah. So, am I the Beyonce of my group of friends? Is that a rhetorical question?
No,
of course, I'm the Beyonce. So, my friends, Rob and Doretta, hey, y'all. I know they're going to listen to this, and they're going to hate me after I say this. But we have this running joke within our crew that I'm the Beyonce, of course. Rob is LaToya because he's the ratchet one. And then Doretta, she interchanges between Kelly and Latavia.
Oh.
She gonna cuss me out when she hear that. But girl, you know you Kelly, shit. You second lead vocalist, and you let me
love
take the lead.
Calendria. I wish
we do love Calendria.
I love her. I wish. Anyway, we don't need to do that, but we love Calendria.
We do.
I love Tanitra. Y'all don't have to, but I love Tanitra.
You know when. They first did the whole switcheroo with the group members. People hated Michelle.
Oh yeah, and they hated the fuck out of Beyonce too. But
they showed it because I was one of them. I admit it. I was one of them. I did not like Michelle, but the way she kind of saved the group, like as an adult, if you think about it, the way she saved the group from basically crumbling and conserving that image. Michelle is the real superhero. She's the real MVP.
She really is the real MVP. And and I've seen stuff, and I think she recently came out and was talking about how like depressed and suicidal she was because it was so much pressure. Because that was like they were at the epitome of their success. They were riding off of Bugaboo and Say My Name, which I knew from the first time I heard Say My Name that was going to be a colossal hit. And so Say My Name video comes out, and they done switched the girls, and it was like no announcement. So it was just a whole big thing. And then Matthew was being nasty in the media about it, and And we see where his ass is now.
Listen, when you do clownery.
When you do clownery. Although, I mean, Latoya and
Didn't he
Latavia.
just have like an estate sale to try to sell some Destiny's Child stuff so he could play for child support?
Something like that.
Child,
He out
that's a
here,
fuck nigga.
he out here trying to do talent searches and shit. He just has a lot going on. Quick story: one of our friends, we threw a baby shower for her, like a friend version of a baby shower, and we did it at Rice. I think it's called Rice House here in Houston. It's like on Hadley Street. And it has like a Destiny's Child shrine in there, and I guess Matthew owns it or whatever. So what we did was nice, but a few things. First of all, Matthew with his cheap ass, they had the AC on in different parts of the place. So you would go up because you come there and you want to see the Destiny's Child shrine. They have plaques, platinum plaques. They have all kinds of stuff in a room, and the room is sweltering. It's like 90 degrees in that room. And I'm like, why would you not turn the AC on in here? You know people going to want to come in here. Even if they don't like Destiny's Child, they're going to want to come see the stuff because it's here. And so then the second thing with that is we were giving a little speeches at the end, wrapping things up. So he's there. He was lurking around the whole time like fucking Batman. And I wanted to be like, Matthew, if you don't sit your ass down somewhere and let us have our event, we're going to be gone soon, girl. So,
Sit your motherfucking ass down.
Right. So we wrapping it up. So then he comes and he starts trying to give a speech. And first of all, don't nobody want to hear what you have to say. We know how you did, Miss Tina. We have not forgiven you. Okay. Beyonce don't fuck with you, and neither do we.
Okay, if your daughter don't fuck with you, then you know I'm not obligated to.
So he was giving a speech, and then he started trying to hawk his book. He came out with some book that he was trying to sell, and we were sitting up there looking at him. And again, I was like, "If you don't work this shit up, sit your ass down somewhere, shut the fuck up." Oh, Matthew, just like, damn. When you speak of a fall from grace,
listen.
When you speak of fuck niggerdom, make sure that Matthew knows is in the running, because
yes,
he taught y'all how he laid some new groundwork for being a fuck nigga. I mean, ain't nothing new under the sun, but shit.
The only fall that's greater is the one that Lucifer did.
Okay.
To be honest with you.
Because, listen, Beyonce, my daughter, I ain't doing nothing to fuck that up.
Okay.
Anyway, and then Miss Tina out here looking good, living her best life, and Matthew looking dusty like he work at the Dollar General. Anyway, okay, last question so we can wrap this up because we getting a little long now. What do you think Beyonce will be doing when she's 50 years old?
Minding her black ass business like she always do.
Hallelujah.
And probably telling Rumi, Blue, and Sir how Auntie Solange beat their daddy ass in the service elevator.
She truly did. She whooped that ass.
Didn't she though?
And I feel like, you can say what you want, but I feel like Solange has a reputation. Like, you can try anybody in this world. You don't ever in your black life try Beyonce, because she will bring it to you. Beyonce, Solange got hands and feet for that ass. If ever you really get out of line.
Like, don't let the couture and the Comme des Garçons fool you.
Okay, don't let the don't touch my hair and all that shit fool you. Don't let the black power fool you, because that black power gonna turn into a black fist upside your face.
For real, though. I love her.
And taking on a grown ass how tall is Jay-Z? 6'2", 6'3"?
Mm-hmm.
She didn't give a fuck. Mama had no fear. She turned into a little honey badger.
Listen. And Julius could barely hold her back.
Listen, when that adrenaline gets to pumping, when you are determined to beat some ass, it ain't much that's gonna stop you.
That was some crackhead strength right there.
Listen, no, that was, you fucked with my sister's strength. And that's one thing that I love about them, is that they have a genuine sisterhood, and you can, I mean, they're private, so we don't get to see a lot of it, but the glimpses that we've seen, you can see that it's a very, very, very strong attachment between the two of them.
Yeah, it really is.
Like just
I love
little
that.
things like when Solange was performing and Beyonce came out and they was doing a little dance and then they hugged at
Mm-hmm.
the end. And when Solange did SNL and Miss Tina and Beyonce were there
Oh, they
carrying her
picked
around and
her up.
shit. And she's like, I'm 30 years old. They were like, bitch, we don't give a fuck.
You know, black families don't care about that shit.
They don't. They don't. So,
It's tradition.
okay, my answer. I feel like when Beyonce is 50 years old, this is what, about 14? Damn, that's 14 years from now. Huh.
Is it? God damn, we
Because
getting
Beyonce is
old.
only 36.
Yes. Oof.
I just realized
Okay.
that. Okay. I feel like she's gonna be pushing Blue onto us with whatever musical endeavor that she's doing. I honestly feel
Hmm.
like Blue is gonna be a rapper.
I think so. I think she's gonna be the one to carry the crown.
If nothing, if not just a solid rapper, she's gonna be like the next Missy and rap and sing.
Yes, yes, yes.
But
I can definitely see that.
I feel very confident that she's at least gonna be rapping. And I feel like she's gonna be laying low. She's gonna pop up every now and then for like a tribute or like a quiet, intimate tour, the way Prince used to do. You know how
Yes.
Prince used to just pop up with some shit on his website and be like, "Bitch, I'm going on tour. I'll be there tomorrow."
Right, right.
You know, and I'm honestly, I'm looking forward to that because I hope she does it the way he used to,
Hmm.
where when he would do those little tours, he would perform like deep cuts from his albums and not always
Hmm.
do just the hits, because then maybe we'll hear some of these songs. Maybe then we can hear
Okay.
signs. You
Right.
know what I'm saying? Maybe then she'll give us just a little snippet of it.
Shit, we gotta wait till we register for AARP in order to hear
Okay.
the, in order to hear the B sides.
I mean, but the
But
good thing is, hopefully, we'll be established, and money will be long, and it will be nothing. Be like, oh, Beyonce gonna
oh,
okay,
we gonna name and claim that. We gonna have that
absolutely. Let me pluck
together.
that out the sky right now.
Hello.
Okay, we have been standing for a very long time, so we're gonna wrap this up real quick. Max, first of all, thank you so much for joining me. This has been a lot of fun. I mean, but talking about Beyonce is always fun.
Ain't it though?
But tell people where they can find you one more time.
Y'all can find me on the corner of MLK and Main, percolating for my college fund. Was that too much?
I'm. I don't even know how that would work.
You got mad silent.
I'm trying to figure out. I'm like, how are you gonna collect money on anybody's MLK? Girl, do you know what MLK is like in most places
Right.
in this country? You tried that. Your ass trying to die. Your ass
Ooh,
gonna be
gee,
percolating on the pavement.
a good hoe has survival skills. I'll just say that.
Hmm.
But nah, for real, y'all can catch me on Twitter, notorious underscore MAX, on Instagram, notorious underscore M4, the number 4, X. You can catch me on connectpaypal.com / King Cake.
That's how we
For
know
all of
that's
y'all.
not true because he ain't even saying the damn website right.
Yeah,
Connect PayPal, girl. Bye.
whatever. Y'all can
Collect
find
your
me. I'm a
freakum dress and go.
hello. Because when you act wrong, that's when you put it on.
Anyway,
But yeah, thank you for having me. It was a pleasure to discuss one of my favorite things with you.
yes, one of our favorite things. Okay, you guys, remember GaysideStories.com is the hub for more information. Email me is GaysideStories@gmail.com. Follow and interact on social media on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Subscribe wherever you get your podcasts. If you listen on SoundCloud, I would love you guys to leave comments and all of that good stuff. Share the show. I appreciate everyone who retweets and all that stuff whenever I have all these links blasting out all week. I appreciate you guys for listening. Make sure you share this show with others. Share this show with the Beyonce hater and make them see the light. Hopefully they will.
Hmm.
And if not, if they still don't see the light, just tell them don't be a hater all your life, dear.
Yeah,
Because,
she don't need that energy in your life anyway.
and neither do you, to be quite honest. And you guys check out the Sounds of the Stories playlist. That's also on the SoundCloud page. Again, thank you for listening. I know this is kind of off topic, but then again, not really, because this is an LGBT show, so it's kind of par for the course that gay men are going to be discussing Beyonce. It is what it is, and I think we are out of here. So don't forget the lost commandment, all right? And that's, thou shalt protect thy walls, or they will crumble.
Hallelujah.
Right? And ain't nothing gonna put that Humpty back together again. All right, so protect them walls. All right, we're out of here. Make sure you play your favorite Beyonce song right now.
Yeah.
Sipping on some bug, daddy, I got what you need. You a sexy little thug.